Alrighty, welcome to the Kiwi Chiropractic Podcast. My name is Andrew McCracken, and today I am with...
Hello everybody, it's Juliette. Normally, maybe you know me from the front desk.
That's true. And today we're doing a bit of a special episode. Juliette is going to interview me on a topic which we have in Q1 of 2024, which is New Year's resolutions and how to live a satisfied life. So I'm interested. Basically, Juliette has a whole set of questions for me. And we haven't planned it so much. We're going to see what comes out of it. But hopefully it helps people to reach their goals and figure out this whole thing. Juliette?
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this topic. I mean, now that the year is coming to an end, I think a lot of people follow this tradition of setting New Year resolutions and using this new year as a fresh new start to leave old habits behind.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in...
Cool.
Are you doing the same?
So am I doing New Year's resolutions?
Yes.
Yes, actually. At least what I would say is it's been a part of my life to always have at least a big reflection point. Mm-hmm. It's often not on, the last day of the year or something, but to take some time, normally some quiet time in nature or something, and to get the notebook out and to kind of reflect on the year that's gone by, go through a process to try to figure out how we can make the next year more satisfying, more fulfilling, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's important to take that time to actually reflect what's been happening and what you want to achieve?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think naturally it comes out like life is just so busy. You kind of get stuck on that treadmill often, and it's about, I think actually not just once a year, but you should have times throughout the year, but especially at the end of a year to reflect, to stop, to figure out, what direction was I heading in? Was I going in a direction that takes me towards my ideal life, my optimal health, reaching my goals, my visions, helping lots of people? Or did I get sidetracked by all the different temptations in life? Did I eat too much chocolate? Did I spend too much time on the internet? Did I, spend too much time with friends where it didn't serve me, or all this kind of stuff? And so I think, it's definitely important and something that I've done for a while. I don't like the idea that a lot of people kind of make fun that after 1 month everything is just, gone.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe depends on how you set the New Year's resolutions as well.
Yeah, I think it's hard though to stick to these resolutions.
Sure.
But I totally agree that it's great or even vitally important to pause and reflect, because that gives you the opportunity to give yourself some kind of structure.
Yeah.
And I love that you used the word vision there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just moving through life but without that much.
And the word vision as well, it's like if you're stuck looking just 1 meter in front of you every day, on the treadmill, you don't have the vision, to actually look out into the distance. So
the bigger picture.
The bigger picture. Exactly. Yeah. I think it's also a little bit, for some people, it's a bit dangerous that they set the New Year's resolution, they don't achieve what they thought they would have, beat themselves up and go, well, that didn't work. I'm useless, and then it keeps repeating every year. So I think that's something you definitely want to avoid, but I think we have some tips where we can probably help people avoid that as well.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Exciting. Tell us more about that, please.
So like my number one tip for people when they want to set New Year's resolutions is, it's all about the direction. So hopefully you've set yourself something that's in line with your values and all that kind of stuff, but it's all about the direction. So say your vision or your goal is, I don't know, a classic one. A lot of people, we're in a chiropractic practice. A lot of people set goals about their bodies, right? So let's say you want to put on muscle, or you want to lose fat, or you want to do both, whatever. The question is, you've got that vision of your ultimate where you want to be, every day, every action, are you moving towards or away from that? Because then really all you have to do, you don't have to be perfect, right? You don't have to eat perfect all the time. You just have to do that more than not doing it, right? For me, it's about the direction and giving yourself permission to celebrate the direction. And I think you have to make sure as well that you don't beat yourself up if you don't achieve it or this kind of thing. Yeah, that'd be my number one tip, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this also simplifies the process to just keep the direction in mind. Yeah. And I think like additional to that is to make sure that you really set the intention based on your values, right? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So like we talk about New Year's resolutions, but also living a satisfied life. Right, and we chose satisfied because we didn't want to make it like happiness. That seems a little bit too superficial or short-lasting. But like satisfaction, I think a lot of the research talks about that as being, because you can be satisfied on your journey, you can still be growing, that kind of stuff. But for me, the idea is that you know your values, and a value can be like, the way I would look at it is, it's like, what do you enjoy doing? It might be like, for me, nature is a big value, helping people is a big value. Living, sharing chiropractic in Germany is a big value. Family is a big value. Travel is a big value. Adventure, all these different things. And any time in my life where I've been like, oh shit, I just feel a bit frustrated somehow, it's really interesting. Go back to my vision board, look at my values, and they're all they're in the order of priority. And you go, oh, interesting. Yeah, so nature's one of my values. Haven't been to the beach, the forest, the mountains in a month.
Yeah.
Or haven't seen my family, or haven't done this. And it's like, I think once you've figured out those values, and maybe we can talk about how to figure them out, but once you've figured them out, making sure periodically through your year that they're in there. Ideally every week you've somehow got all your values in there. If nature's a value, maybe you can't go to the beach every week. Maybe once a year you've got like a beach holiday or whatever, but maybe it's a walk in a particular forest. Like, so here in Düsseldorf, I love the Grafenberg forest. It has
me too.
That has a real nature vibe to it somehow. Or going for a walk along the river where there's no people, so like up around by Kaiserswerth or something, is for me something like that. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the keys from my perspective.
It's funny, now that you listed your values, I feel like it becomes super clear why Kiwi Chiropractic is the way it is.
Cool.
Because I seeing a lot of your values, how do you say in English, that are fulfilled by, or you're achieving them.
Yep, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, right, how much of your job fulfills your values? For some people, their job is their entire life. Maybe me. No, I'm joking.
I wanted to jump in and say just that.
maybe 80%, right? But so you have that on one end of the scale. On the other end of the scale is maybe someone's job where the only thing it's fulfilling is the financial stability, right? And so for me, I feel like the luckiest person in the world. Get to come to work. We have a great team, so it's very sociable. That's a value. Everything here we do is natural based, right? And we also have even we have plants, we have wood, so we're in a natural environment, working with our hands. It's a very natural kind of thing. Helping people is one of my highest values. So doing that is awesome. I definitely feel that my job, right, has achieved a lot of my values, which is really cool.
And you mentioned family also is one of your values. And I love that we're seeing so many families coming into the practice.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah, so I love seeing mum and dad bringing the baby. The amount of people where, I was just thinking the other day, like there's one person here where their baby was born like on the same week that we opened practice. And so now I know their baby's 5, because the practice is 5. So I mean, that's the thing. And there's family in different, senses of the word. We talk about whānau in the video, right? That's on the website. There's the family unit. there's a family within the team. So, front desk, chiropractors, back office, there's a family there. And then there's maybe a bigger, community or family of the people who are coming into the practice. We like right now, as we speak, people are just bringing up all this stuff for the charity, the Armakusha, the Spender. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Part of an even bigger family or community within the city. So, yeah.
And helping people, of course.
And helping people, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think that chiropractic itself, like the adjustments can help people to achieve a fulfilled life?
Oh, wow, massive question. Absolutely, chiropractic fixes everything. No, I'm joking. So technically it fixes nothing, only the connection between your brain and body.
Which is kind of everything.
Kind of everything, yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? So absolutely, in the sense that when you get adjusted, you get a chance to reset your nervous system. So if you've been living for so many years in this fight, flight, stress response, getting triggered by everything, going to work, this colleague is firing you up, going home, there's stress with the husband, blah, 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 everything. The weather's getting to you, the traffic's getting to you. And getting adjusted is almost like that moment of reflection at the end of the year. It's a moment physiologically within your body where you get a chance to get out of the stress reaction into the kind of resting, digesting, healing state. Then hopefully you can use your conscious mind to make better choices.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things people will say, this is people who have been in the practice for maybe a year or more. Their initial reason why they're here is better. And they just start to become healthier and healthier and healthier because they are going to the positive cycle, right? They're being more in the rest, digest, healing. They're making better choices. So they're eating better food, right? So that means now they're working out more, and their workout is having a bigger effect on them, and then they're sleeping better, and then it's like, oh my goodness, it's just going up and up and up, and the body is getting stronger. So I guess to answer the question, chiropractic plus the help of the positive choices of the practice member could definitely have an impact on that stuff. Yeah
Great.
Yeah, good question so far.
Thank you.
Yeah. Values.
You
know what I was thinking?
Talk more about that.
Well, because it came to me when you said, just as you were talking to me about like the end of the year, a lot of people say, well, what exactly should I set my goal as? What exactly am I reflecting on? And for me, it's become a process where I literally take this little postcard with my 10 values on it, and I'll write those into my book, and I'll rate it 1 to 10.
So wait, you have a postcard with
Sure.
your values on it?
Sure, yeah.
Did you take it with you?
No, I leave it on the vision board. But I have a photo of it. So I do the classic, German thing, go to DM, print the photos, put them on the wall like every teenage girl does. But yeah, so I got the vision board, and in the very center is the values, right? Because that's basically what makes you tick. What makes you, what's that kind of ingredients list for, at least in my understanding, what's the ingredients list that makes you give the juice in life? You might also have like a philosophy or a sentence or something, but those values, they are what you enjoy doing, that's what lights you up, and how would the world look if there was more people, doing that? It would be pretty cool. So I take a value. So I might take, for example, something different. Let's take family, right? Family goes into the journal. 1 to 10. How much did I live this value in the last year? And so I just went to New Zealand where it was my mother's 60th birthday. So to be able to be part of that was awesome, right? But obviously I don't see them every week.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
But what's the compromise? Did I call them enough? Did I, celebrate their birthdays? Did I remember to get a birthday present? Did I, stimulate those conversations? And I think that's a big one for people with friendships. Did you actually go out and initiate the contact with people? That kind of stuff. So take that value, 1 to 10, and then I might go some highlights and some lowlights on each value, and then I might go a goal for next year. Like maybe it's I want to spend, 20 days with my family, or I want to spend Christmas with my family, or I want to whatever it is, and then action steps that would help you towards that, right? And it might be unrelated. It might be, well, I need to make sure that the practice can keep going. over Christmas so I can see my family, or I need to make sure that I've done X, Y, Z so I can do that.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any questions on that? Just throw it back to you. Is it making sense what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
Okay.
I think it's really interesting that you share this specific technique with us, because it makes this abstract theme of goals and values a bit more achievable, because it's actually, as you said, action steps.
Yeah.
It's baby steps, actually things you can do.
Yeah. And also it's like, you got to remember, life has its seasons, right? So what value are you going to take, and are you going to try to really maximize? You might have a theme for the year. It might be, so sometimes I'll do that, go and highlight one value. It's like, wow, last year was great, but I didn't have enough adventure, or whatever. And that can be a theme for a year. In terms of the timelines, I'm actually much more a fan of setting 90-day kind of resolutions, perhaps every 90 days, checking in with your values. Where are you at? Where did you hit your values, and where did you fall short? When did you eat the chocolate? When you probably shouldn't have. When did you eat the salad? Where can you pat yourself on the back, and what do you have to change? And then always when you have to change, it's like, well, what support do I need? Do I need to seek out a healthcare professional, whatever, or do I need to have an accountability with a friend? All of this kind of stuff. But there is definitely a bit of research about this every 90 days kind of thing. So
yeah, I agree.
Like in the practice, we do 90-day goals for us, right? We have meetings, strategic meetings every 3 months. So I thought, well, why not do that in your personal life as well?
Do you know about SMART goals? You probably do.
So my mother used to teach this at
really?
At schools, yeah. So, and she listens to all the podcasts, even when they're in German, even though she doesn't understand a word. So
that's so sweet.
So I'm going to see if
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, what's up? So I feel a little bit of pressure but I'm going to try to get this, all right? SMART is specific. So it's meant to be a very clear goal, not just like I want to lose weight. Or it could be lose weight, but then it has to be M, so it has to be measurable. Exactly. So by exactly how much. A is that accountable? No.
It's attainable.
Attainable, god damn it. Okay. Attainable, so it has to be realistic. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah, okay. And then SMART, R, attainable, is that reachable? No, what is it?
Relevant.
Oh, shit. So relevant to your values? Yeah. Probably, right? Yeah. Not just like, I want to become an ice cream truck driver because I love ice cream. It's a little bit relevant.
A good example.
Could be, yeah. Maybe not. And T, timeline.
Time bound, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is how it came to mind to me, because you were talking about the time bound aspect, which is crucial, I think, to be able to measure your goals, to actually feel like you are achieving something. Yeah, and I think that also comes back to nature, to having a rhythm. So, I see.
So it's like, if you think about rhythms of nature, it's like, what is a year? Well, it's the Earth going around the sun once, right?
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Shit. I was like, as I was saying that, I was like, I think that's what it is. And then, like, for us, right, if you have your yearly New Year's resolution, and then you have your quarterly, then maybe you have like a monthly, then maybe you have like a little daily ritual that you do. So, like, for me, at the moment, I'm doing like cold shower, 5 minutes of mobility, 5 minutes of meditation, just to kind of try to zero myself out as I wake up, to then have a chance to go and get out off the treadmill into the values.
Yeah. Also, I want to share with the people that we have a tradition, let's call it that, to say what our attention is for every shift.
Yeah, true.
Here in the practice.
Yeah.
Like you Kairos do that, but even as CAs, we try to think about something that we want to accomplish, and that is can be as vague as connection, but if you then have this intention, you really concentrate on that for the day.
Yeah, true. It's a really good point. Like that's like, actually, a lot of people are kind of fascinated that we do like I'm like, yeah, before every shift in the practice, we get together as a team. We focus on who's coming in. They're like, what, you're prepared? I'm like, yes. Like, we feel like that's professional. And part of that process, like you said, is at the end, once we've gone through in our minds all the people coming in and all the things we want to give and look out for with people, is the intention. And the intention, like you said, could be connection. What's some other ones that we've done? It can also be, for example, to speak about the charity event that we have coming up, because there's so much stuff we just forget about it.
Yeah.
It can be to, I think my one the other day was to talk less and feel more, which was one, so which is kind of cool. Or to remind people how amazing their bodies are, or to move slower, or whatever it is. So yeah, that's true. That's like a daily ritual. And I mean, how cool would it be if you did that in your personal life as well?
I feel like it's also a chance for you to just experiment, because it's just a commitment for this day.
That's true.
So you can see afterwards and evaluate, do I want to continue with this and try it again, maybe for a longer period of time? Or did I feel that that's just not for me? Yeah, I want to try something else tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And it also adds a little bit of like the German word Abwechsel.
Yeah.
What is this in English? Spontaneity or change?
A variety.
Thank you. Oh my God. It adds variety. Yeah, it adds variety to your day, you know, so you can, and focusing on different parts. So yeah, taking the big picture, putting it down, getting it into each and every day, because at the end of the day, the world is a little bit, we've created this world. We've created the city that we live in as humans, but somehow it's, it can pull us away from our natural selves a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So it's strange, but somehow it feels like we have to kind of work a little bit to get back to that. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think that this is how I'm feeling it, and I feel the effort that it takes to get back to that natural state.
Yeah, and isn't that weird? That it's like with all of our conscious wisdom, we've created a space, right? And this actually relates back to what you did at university, right?
Yes, quite literally.
Like literally, the default setting is, as humans, we've created spaces, and even the way the streets interact and the cars we drive and how fast they go and all this kind of stuff, we've created a world that doesn't actually really resonate so much with the machinery that we have within our body or the naturalistic approach.
It serves a function,
sure,
but that doesn't always go hand in hand, as you said, with our natural functions. Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about what you studied, at university? Because that's super interesting. Also, how it relates to the practice. It was all about healing spaces, right?
That was the project I chose to finish my studies.
Right.
And we constructed, it was a 3D world kind of thing. We constructed a space that would be, in theory, the ideal space for a human to be in, a space where your amygdala is not constantly triggered by...
So that's that stress response we're talking about?
Exactly, and we are actually in this stress response all the time. It's like even the edges of our walls, like the angles, the corners. Thank you. They already trigger a stress response, because our brain is not developed to see this, and so we misinterpret kind of a lot of information, like traffic lights outside, just the hectic streets, the noise, all of that. Like our brain is still in a
fight-flight response.
Yes, and it's developed for a totally different scenario, and it couldn't catch up because evolution is not as quick as we humans were to build.
So isn't that fascinating? It's like the catch-22. Like, as humans, we've been so successful, quote unquote, that our bodies haven't had a chance to catch up. But I think it's fascinating what you say there, that unconsciously, like I remember when I lived here, I was in a different apartment right next to the Straßenbahn, right?
Yeah.
And for me, after 2 months, I didn't hear it, quote unquote, consciously, right?
Yeah.
But unconsciously, you hear it all the time, and when did the caveman hear something like this? Maybe an avalanche or a volcano or an elephant come, so boom, stress response, right?
It's something that you have to react to.
Straight away.
Exactly.
Yeah. So does that mean in the practice we have to get rid of all the corners?
I mean, we're trying. You're sitting in front of a bamboo kind of.
That's true. Yeah.
How's
right
that
here.
called?
This one here.
Bamboo
wall. Yeah, that's behind me. That's true.
So that softens the corner there a little bit.
Yeah. What does that relate at all to the open plan? Maybe like the open adjustment rooms.
Yeah. So the ideal scenario would be that we have a space that gives us both shelter and enough openness to see if potential predators are coming.
Okay. There's no predators in the practice, just letting you know.
Yeah, but just for our brain, like we feel
yeah.
more comfortable in a space where we can have the whole how do you say it? You can see the whole scene. Like maybe, for example, with our windows, that you can see the Karlsplatz.
Yeah, okay. True.
So there you have an overview.
Overview.
That word I was
Überblick.
For.
I think.
Überblick.
There you go.
But at the same time, an overview with the possibility to retract from it, yeah, to have shelter. You need both.
So this, I'm thinking back to myself. So I love working in that open room. So this with the 4 tables in Düsseldorf, because I have an overview of the whole room.
Yeah, I
have a community of people where I can see what's going on. I can look out the windows, and then of course I can always retract into the team room, or the kitchen or whatever when I have to. But just personally, I don't really enjoy adjusting people in these small rooms. It feels too square, too tight. We do always our first consults in there because it's really private. But after that, I prefer more this kind of community vibe, and it almost feels like it's like creating a positive healing field almost.
That might be your instincts.
Might be my instincts. Yeah, true. That's true. But I remember at the start, when I first went into an open plan, it was a little bit scary, because it's unfamiliar. But once of course, maybe for a week or two, even in Hooking is also quite open. It was a bit, okay, it's weird. But then after a couple of weeks, it's like, oh, sweet. It's just completely normal. So interesting. Yeah, really interesting. So I wonder if that relates a little bit to like feng shui and all that kind of stuff. Maybe. I've got a lady I know who does feng shui, and she's all about her corners. So all about her rounding of the corner. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. A friend of mine built a chiropractic practice from scratch in like 1990. It's in the middle of a field in the north of Germany. And in all his wisdom, he shaped it like a pentagon, I think.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what that's all about. There seems to be a lot of corners in a pentagon, but
I bet it looks cool though.
It does look cool. Yeah. I think he's got a big photo of himself above as well. But so that's what we do.
So that's the next plan for Kiwi. A big photo.
It is funny, man. Chiropractors are funny people. Like I also have another friend of mine. I won't say where he is practicing because that'll give it away. But there's an open room and there's literally like a 2 times the size of life him photo adjusting somebody just looking straight into the camera.
Really?
Yeah, and
maybe we need a paper
real, cutout. Yeah, there we go.
Real life size.
We should do that.
Of you, Andrew.
That's definitely what we're missing in the practice, right?
Yeah. And to bring it back to our topic.
Good idea. Very good idea. Bring it back. I like that.
Yeah. Maybe that will add to the fulfilled life of the practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay. I think we've ticked the box. Hopefully.
I hope so.
I
think we gave many different, hopefully helpful points of view.
Yeah, and I think the point of this podcast is always just to start a conversation, right? Start a conversation that you can continue with your chiropractor, or you can continue with your friends, or you might be doing the New Year's resolutions in a completely different way. Cool, do that and keep doing it. So, yeah.
Maybe I will steal your idea with the 90-day
Nice.
resolutions, or rather goals.
Goals. Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's do that. 90 days. And I recommend if you do the 90 days, that you do it with a friend.
So accountability is another
exactly
good point,
because it is difficult to keep the accountability there. So I have my accountability partner is my coach Phil, and I said to him, mate, every 90 days I want you to ask me these questions. you know?
You do that?
Yeah, because
cool.
It's like, well, I know I'm going to get swept up in life and doing things and all this kind of stuff. So can you either hire somebody or get a friend, and you guys are going to do that together? Can be good.
That's a really good point.
So, Juliette, thank you very much for your first time ever on the Kiwi Chiropractic podcast.
First time ever, and then also in English.
And I know, and I did throw it on you last minute. I do apologize. Like, 1 minute before, she's like, "Is this in English or German?" I was like, "It's normally German, but I don't think I can talk about this in German." So, thank you for being so great, and looking forward to it. There'll be an article written up about this one as well in our newsletter.
Exactly. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in this topic.
Absolutely. So, guys, until next time, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Bye.